Good afternoon. Here's your tarot for the collective. So we have Thoth Thursdays as per usual. I have one Thoth card here for our overall energy. And then I pulled a few extra cards from my Druid Craft tarot deck because today we have somewhat of an important astrological event. Chiron Retrograde. That's today, the 15th. Chiron, as I noted in some of my research here, I've been working with Chiron energy for quite a while. And I actually picked some yarrow today because yarrow is associated with Chiron because its technical term was named after the Greek warrior, very famous Greek warrior Achilles. You know, when you often hear of Achilles' heels. But he used yarrow to heal all of these like really intense wounds of all his warriors one day, and he saved their life. And he always lamented that, you know, perhaps he could have saved his own life at some point. They always said like he could have saved his own life if you used yarrow on himself. And people say that he learned about yarrow from his mentor Chiron, the wounded healer. So this speaks to the energy of yarrow as being, both an herb that heals wounds and like wounds that cut to the bone, very, very deep wounds, but also magically speaking and, spiritually speaking, it refers to those woundings of the soul, as in Chiron is, healing those woundings of the soul, very deep soul woundings, very intense soul wounding. So yarrow is the perfect herb for today, and I intuitively knew that as I was picking it this morning. This energy is just really lovely, and Chiron goes retrograde until December 19th. So he's going retrograde in the sign of Aries, which he has been in since 2018. Now, technically Chiron is not a planet per se, but he's like a minor planet and a comet, interestingly enough. But from some of my research from Divine Energy Works, I noted that they called him the Galactic Shaman, which I really like that terminology. And, Chiron's often called the wounded healer. But calling it the Galactic Shaman is kind of neat. So we'll get into that a little bit, but Chiron is joining this retrograde party because, we have Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, all retrograde. By August, we'll have 8 planets in retrograde. So they're all kind of playing off each other's energies, and it's really powerful when all these planets go retrograde at the same time like this. So a lot of opportunity for deep and lasting healing. So I guess Chiron has this galactic nature because he's activating galactic DNA and healing galactic wounds as well. So the symbol of Chiron is a key, which, interestingly enough, I have my key here today. I didn't know that. Synchronicities. He's like a key to unlock a passageway from one reality to another, between the seen and the unseen realms. So Chiron in retrograde is really not only showing us our old wounds, it also shows us the wounds as a place where our healing lies. So as this energy is going to last for the next 6 months, we're called to go back to our old wounds and engage in alchemy and alchemize them into our most powerful gifts of healing. And this is the shaman's nature of Chiron, that we all have that inner shaman within us, It's showing us the depth of our deep soul wounds and connecting us with those deep karmic layers of ancestral wounding as well for them to be released. Now, the ancestors have been here very strong for the last few weeks, and there has been a lot of ancestral healing that's coming up and needing to be released and healed. And we're working through a lot of this, so it's interesting that Chiron is just kind of like coming in to finish that up and also bringing some deep inner child healing. Chiron's bringing us its most powerful medicine, which is that beautiful awareness and very strong awareness and the great potential for healing, breakthroughs, and transformation, which as you see, we pulled the death card for our Thoth card today, and that is all about transformation. We'll get into that. I just want to talk a little bit more about Chiron, because, you know, it's like we can work with this energetic expression with ease if we kind of understand it. It's not like a super powerful, like, I don't think this is causing like big tower moment shifts. It's a lot more gentle healing. It's you know, Chiron is that centaur, and so the myth that goes along with him was that he was abandoned at birth and left to fend for himself. It was through this wound of abandonment and difficult upbringing, you know, hence the ancestral healing as well, that it was able to rise up and he turned his wounds into powerful portals of healing. So his wounds paved the way for his role as a powerful teacher, psychic, and philosopher, and that's why they call him the wounded healer. So again, we all possess those inside of us, our own inner shaman, our pain points, our wounds, and we turn them into power. You know, as Rumi says, the wound is where the light enters you. And, you know, where Chiron is right now between Saturn and Uranus, which are doing a lot energetically as well. You know, Uranus is like that, expect the unexpected energy, and Saturn is very grounded and rooted, you know. And so that Uranus energy also brings about these awakenings and rising of Kundalini energy. And you know, there's been a lot of fire energy here. And this death, too, is like, it's like awakening or rebirth, you know. So Chiron sits between Saturn and Uranus, you know, giving us all these lessons and going through this awakening and rebirth energy, too. And Chiron's that bridge between these two states of energies and being. And sometimes he's referred to as the rainbow bridge. So that's significant because it's like that linking between that one state of consciousness and the next. And if you look to Egyptian astrology, which is why I thought perhaps, you know, it was really appropriate that we have Thoth Thursday here as well, because, you know, the Thoth is linked to all of that lovely Egyptian magic and astrology. So in ancient Egypt astrology, Chiron goes by another name, Anubis, the god of the afterlife and the lost souls. And a lot of these myths and legends can be traced back to that beautiful Egyptian astrology, and Anubis is seen as Chiron's counterpart. So just like Chiron, Anubis was also abandoned as a child. And through that painful upbringing, Anubis rose up into the noble profession of the guardian of the underworld. You know, which I brought my owl here today, and I feel like he's guiding us through this energy. It's beautiful. Anubis welcomed the newly dead to the underworld, and he guided them as they transitioned to the afterlife, which is absolutely beautiful that we pulled that death card today too. You know, it takes a special soul to be given that position, and you know, they believe that because it was Anubis's own pain and suffering that allowed Anubis to develop that lovely compassion and discernment and loyalty to be able to walk souls through that difficult journey, you know. So as Chiron and Anubis travel retrograde, we're able to go within to our own wounds and reflect on them, how we can use them as power and healing. So it's not about getting that state of perfection through healing, but more so just bringing, you know, that acknowledgement and acceptance to our wounds in a way that allows us to access this beautiful wisdom that they can bring. And here's the owl again, bringing us into beautiful wisdom. Chiron doesn't want to fix us. It doesn't want to make us better. It's like it wants us to learn how we can integrate these wounds and use them as tools, as powerful portals of wisdom and knowledge and power. And so as we extract this wisdom from those wounds, we can step into greater and fuller potential for ourselves. And hence with that death card too, it's like we can reawaken and rebirth ourselves as well. You know, it's about a transcendence rather than trying to fix ourselves to be worthy. We are worthy regardless of the wounds that live within. And that is that beautiful self-love energy that we've been dealing with that Cancer new moon as well. That's still, you know, lingering about. And this energy is also being amplified too because Chiron's in Aries. So it's very headstrong. And with Chiron in Aries, we are even more supported to find that strength and that confidence and that courage that come about when we come face to face with those wounds, and we look at them not as things of pain points, but as points of potential. So it's like Chiron and Aries is reminding us that it's more beneficial to allow these wounds to inspire and motivate us, you know, as opposed to letting them slow us down. And we see this Devil card here too, and I feel like that's kind of some of those blocks that we kind of do to ourselves, and we get stuck in that place of pain. But we'll talk about that too, you know. So these wounds, they are painful, and they cut so deep that they never truly leave us, but that's okay. We don't have to be this beautiful, neatly wrapped package. We can lead our life in the best way possible with these wounds still in us, you know. And we can use this retrograde not to like sugarcoat those wounds, you know, but to recognize that just like Chiron and Anubis, our suffering can very often lead us towards our path of destiny, you know. And the North Node energy is here too. And I feel like some of that is your destiny here. Some of the folks that are watching this right now, you know, it really is very much connected to that. And, you know, reflect on what your wounds have taught you, and sit with your wounds, and release judgment, and, you know, open up to that wisdom and potential that your wounds have to offer, you know. And we'll see what the cards have to say as well, because I asked the cards to kind of speak to us, you know, from Chiron, from that galactic shaman, from that wounded healer, and like what we're working with here with this retrograde energy, and maybe what wounds we need to heal and such. So let's see what the cards had to say. First, we have our Death card. So this is from the Thoth, absolutely beautiful. And we have this skeleton as the main figure here. And he's holding on to a scythe, a tool that you use to cut down plant life and weeds and you know, very thick kind of powerful knife. And he's wielding it in such a powerful way. He's kind of like dancing through and just cutting down. And it's like this beautiful energy of like pruning, you know, pruning away those things that really just no longer serve us. Getting through that, cutting through that darker energy, and like coming out at the other side reborn, you know, with you know, transmuting the pain and the trauma and the darker energies, and transmuting them into something that is beautiful, you know. And that's that perfect energy. And this card here particularly, it has like all the symbols of Scorpio. We have the scorpion, and we have the snake, and you know, it's like that phoenix energy, like rising from the ashes, being reborn, you know, transmuting, shedding layers, you know, absolutely beautiful, becoming someone new, you know, through this darker energy, coming out the other side. It's absolutely beautiful. So, you know, I also note that, you know, this card is number 15, which is very interesting because, you know, today's the 15th. So it's just really like highlighting just really how important this energy is to be tapping into today as Chiron goes retrograde. You know, it's like in this darkness, you're free to heal everything, you know? It's like, it's this release from these earthly energies that are heavy, that are weighing you down. And sometimes this release is very healthy and necessary. And it's like, you know, you can, it's like, this card is saying, feel free to get into your shadows here with this Devil card. You know, it's like the Devil and the Death card are speaking together. You know, it's like when you get into these shadows, when you delve into your shadow self, you're not trapped in your own story. You're not lying to yourself. You're not, you know, you're seeking liberation from the bindings that are keeping you trapped, and you're untethering yourself. And in this darkness, you're looking to those fragmented aspects of the self as a source of light again. So it's like this Death and this Devil card are like playing off of each other quite nicely. And again, it's like you're allowing yourself to let go of the past in order to add energy to those beautiful new rebirth and being reborn and having these new beginnings. You know, you're going through this transition, this change, this symbolic death. This is your shamanic initiation from the Galactic Shaman Chiron. You know, it's like you're on the cusp of this beautiful, massive transformation energy here. And this card has been coming up quite a bit too lately in the last month or so. You know, this is saying too, it's time to mourn the end of that one phase and celebrate the birth of another. And with the Devil card, it's saying like, don't get pulled back into that past, you know, let it go. And it's like this beautiful metamorphosis that you're going through yourself here, that, you know, you're expanding your consciousness with the Jupiter energy and moving closer to your own beautiful divine essence. So these cycles in your life, this, you know, I feel like with these two people here, you know, I feel like some of this is relationships, you know, some of this is relationships that are shifting and changing and you know, coming to an end. But it's like they're being reborn at the same time. So it's like, it's this beautiful deep breath of light, and that's like being flooded through to illuminate, you know, what needs to be released. You know, there are things that are already losing energy too. You know, it's like these relationships, these ways of thinking, these ways of believing, these ways of looking at your wounds, these ways of attaching to your past in toxic ways, they're already like draining from your energy. And this is saying like, release them and focus on the things that are already starting to shift towards that beautiful transformation and getting that momentum. There's been a lot of that fire energy, like pulling us forward, you know, Venus and Mars conjunction. It's like you felt that passion, you're being pulled in other directions away from that pain and taking that pain and using it to light that fire underneath you to be reborn like that beautiful phoenix, you know. Welcome these possibilities of something new. Allow this phase to, again, come to a graceful end. There's been a lot of energy of like graceful leadership, and take that inner authority with yourself. Take this Aries Emperor energy and like become that graceful leader, you know, and look towards the magic of these beautiful new horizons across your empire, your new empire. And underneath these dark exteriors, this death card is saying there's exciting times filled with brightness and potential and new light that wants to come through. You know, it's absolutely beautiful. And this is our overall energy. So yeah, it's like Chiron is really helping us transform these things. You know, he's unlocking these moments of transformation to radically shift you into a new person, a new perspective, you know, a new healed person. And there's lots of pruning, you know, we're pruning, we're getting rid of things that we just no longer need. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, you know, here's this beautiful death card here. I mean, devil card here was working with that death energy, you know, to transform relationships as well, to transform, you know, your heart space, because there's all this beautiful green heart chakra Venus energy that's like, it's so bright coming from this card. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's like, you know, it's this progress that's really possible, like this great progress that in order to step into this, we have to learn how to like channel it. You know, we have to integrate. Again, we have to integrate those shadows, integrate those pains, and channel it out to turn it into light. So this is this potential for abundance and liberation from those toxic shadows, those pains. You know, this is those obsessions and that heavy earth energy that is wanting to be liberated and released. And you know, as you learn how to be successful and be creative and channel that life force, that fire, that Aries energy too, Chiron's saying like, you know, explore your sexuality, free yourself from inhibitions and repressions, but don't become consumed by those things either. you know, because then you're just repeating those past cycles of pain. You're just replacing one thing for another, you know, and, you know, take time to accept responsibility for your life and the way that you're living it. You know, don't get trapped in difficult or limiting circumstances that you've kind of created for yourself, and be not fully awake to that situation, you know? And it's like, I feel like this death card too is like this long period of unhappiness that eventually led some of you here to change, to break free, to, you know, break free from your world views, to break free from places where your power was taken from you, you know, and take that power back. And I think that's what Chiron is saying too. It's like, from those place of pains, you perhaps were in a weakened state, and you need to, you know, kind of forgive yourself and notice where you've given your power away to others, you know, and think about, be honest with yourself about why you did that, and how now that you're no longer, you know, you're able to transmute this pain into something else, you know, and you can see that now, and you're not, you know, you can work on healing your relationship with your beautiful heart now, and no longer giving that power away to others, finding that own inner power and inner strength and authority. And that's been coming up a lot lately too, you know. And this is like, he's brought you to this place where it's up to you to either fall fully into that darkness, you know, stay in that darkness, refuse that beautiful transformation that wants to come through for you, or, you know, heal and illuminate the things that are asking and calling out for you to put your time into, your beautiful energy, your love into, and leave those that are left you feeling empty behind, you know. And remember that, like, you know, these addictions to those things, those pains, those, you know, sometimes you get so stuck in that pain because that's all you know, and it becomes so scary. And it's like, this is saying, seek liberation from those, you know, and break those chains, and, you know, don't let that pain control you anymore. Absolutely beautiful, you know, and be open for healing for those relationships too, because the card underneath here of the Druid craft deck is that beautiful Princess of Cups. So she's offering you this beautiful, like, heart chakra opening as well. This energy here is she's saying, you know, I want you to follow your dreams. She's giving you this beautiful new loving relationship, sensitive, loving energies. You know, it's very tender. It's very imaginative. It's very, you know, you're listening to your heart and nature, and you're not being drawn into those toxic relationships anymore too. You know, you're not in this state of emotional confusion, because, you know, I neglected to say the card, oh, sorry about that. The card underneath Thoth deck was also the Ace of Swords. So you're getting this beautiful clarity and peace of mind that's coming through as well. You know, it's like something is coming through, though, that beautiful crown chakra energy is coming through, because you've cleared out that confusion, because you're not thinking from that place of pain anymore too. I think that's what's kind of happening. That's what Chiron's giving us too, is like this beautiful moment of clarity that is opening up doors. It's like these life-changing ideas and spiritual breakthroughs, you know, and you're getting these fresh visions for the future. And that's that Princess of Cups too. She's giving you those visions from the future, but it's more from that heart space, that imagination, that inspiration energy too. Absolutely gorgeous. So, you know, it's like you're able to see things for what they really are, because as you're transmuting this pain, you're seeing things from a whole nother heart chakra space, you know, and your unconscious mind is bringing up things for you, and you can experience these beautiful like expansion energies as your conscious mind integrates that newfound information from your unconscious mind and from healing those wounds that you were acting from an unconscious place within those pain places too, you know. It's absolutely beautiful. So, you know, these fierce rays of wisdom and truth are coming through, and it's time to look for that light, and don't get stuck. Use your discernment, use your intellect and your insight, communicate those truths, you know, communicate those truths in your relationships, you know, let those come through. And perhaps by communicating those truths, you are healing some deep wounds as well. You know, I feel like maybe some of this energy is, you know, communicating those truths in relationships that need to be shifted. And just by speaking out about the shift of the relationship in your heart space, and that relationship can be transformed. Those family relationships can be transformed because there's a lot of ancestral stuff going on. So it's very beautiful. And such powerful energy. Next, we have this Prince of Pentacles too. So it's like there's this earth energy that's coming through too, again with that like fire and earth energy. And this Prince of Pentacles here is bringing you like more new beginnings, more new values, more new beliefs. You know, it's like he's saying like, I want you to have like this new path that you can go down now. And I think that's what Chiron's showing you too. It's like this new way of being practical and realistic, and like and approaching your journeys, you know. And it's saying like this turning within time that you're going through, this period of introspection from Chiron, healing those wounds. It's like unearthing the gold hidden deep within your soul. So like that's creating this new value of self as well, you know. And it's like, I guess he's saying too, like you can still rush forward with that fire energy too. Like you can still kind of be inspired with this Princess of Cups here as well. You know, follow those inspirations, run ahead and meet those dreams. You know, this is again with that, you know, tap into that Aries and that Mars and that fire energy that's been about, and you know, run ahead with that curious heart, you know. And this again is this beautiful energy of new beginnings, you know, this new rebirth energy here. And it's like, it's saying go ahead and ground this energy now before it kind of dissipates, because you know you're pulling this energy up from the earth, you're unearthing, you're rebirthing yourself with this Death card. And it's like now you can pull it up and bring it to form, you know. And this is also saying too, it's like one step at a time, anchor in those details, you know. Use this Ace of Swords energy to get those clarity, those thought patterns straight, and you know, but still get into this Princess of Cups energy and follow those dreams, you know. Right now it's like you're in this perfect place to figure out how to make your prosperity reality, because you've unearthed a new sense of self. You've perhaps released some lack matrix energy, and now you're like feeling this beautiful abundance. Like you've turned the tables here on this Devil card. It's like you're not stuck in lack matrix, you know. You have this beautiful new beginning of like, now you're starting to take this journey towards your abundance, because you've transmuted everything, and it's like nothing is holding you back from spreading that abundance and tapping into that abundance energy too. And these upgrades of consciousness, and you know, your plans for the future are coming, and it's like use this to kind of expedite that arrival, you know. Take charge of this journey now and start to co-create from this beautiful new earth that you have unearthed around you, you know. So these are new connections too. This is, again, this beautiful earth magic is like, it's going to your relationships too, and your heart space as well. And then we have the Two of Wands here. So, you know, again, this is that crossroads energy. It's like, you know, after you've started to heal these wounds, I think it's like you'll be left at the crossroads. You'll be left, do I go back to the past or do I go towards my future? And then I think some of this energy too is what we talked about, where it was like you were kind of forced to make a choice and to make that change. And I think that kind of brought about this transformation, and Chiron's kind of like guiding that too, you know. So with this Two of Wands, it's really interesting, that figure there. But I love the trees, how they're just, it's like you're following these beautiful branches here. And with the Princess of Cups too, it's like these branches, these tendrils, it's like you're creating new growth and reaching upwards. You know, this is that like expanding your consciousness, you know, expanding your consciousness with this beautiful Prince of Pentacles here. It's like you're unearthing things from the ground, and they're reaching up, you know, higher than they were before. It's really gorgeous. So, you know, with this Two of Wands, this is that, again, it's like you can see that portal through those trees, that doorway. You know, the Galactic Shaman of Chiron, he is that beautiful portal, you know, and it's like, walk through this portal, you know, walk through this, take it in this medicine. This is, you know, the energy and potential of partnerships too. Again, we're speaking of those beautiful partnerships that I got from that Devil card. You know, you're healing those partnerships, and it's creating these new areas of possibility for you within those partnerships, within those communications, because things are being radically transformed in the way that you're looking at those partnerships, because you've gone through this healing of those past wounds. You know, those were clouding the way that your heart approached these partnerships and relationships too. So this also too is saying, like, as you transmute these pains and these shadow energies, it's like now you're searching for deeper meaning. You're wanting to take this journey with this Prince of Pentacles, with this new energy. It's like guiding you down these different opportunities for you. And it's like this beautiful miracle that could occur, unforeseen change. It can be very joyful, and it's like coming through after this period of tension where you felt stuck. You felt, you know, again with that Devil card, it's like you had this desire to liberate yourself from these certain types of relationships, or these certain ways of just looking at your relationships too, you know. And now you're seeing that, you know, the world is filled with opportunities for adventure, and you're welcoming them in, and you're taking planned action with this Prince of Pentacles too, and you're following those inspirations and those intuitions from this Princess of Cups as well. So, you know, you have to begin to live this life that you've been dreaming and envisioning of, and you know, after this transformation, you'll start to see those things that want to come through, and, you know, start bringing that dream to life. Choose between, you know, that wand that he's got in one hand, and that's the place that you already know, those comfort zones, you know. And then the other one is like leaning into this new possibility, these new changes that, you know, you've gone through most of them with this Death card. So it's not that scary anymore. You faced it, and, you know, now it's saying, like, start learning, start dreaming the dream, walking the walk, talking the talk. Use that fire energy to initiate those shifts forward, instead of being pulled back into those wounds, that dark place that you've walked out of. You've seen the light. Don't don't stop and second guess yourself, you know, because you'll be doing this beautiful healing work. And I feel like that crossroads is a beautiful place. It's a time to stand there and perhaps take stock of you know, look back on where you've been, but more like, you know, be proud of yourself, you know, and see how they've shaped you and who you are now after you've gone through this beautiful transformation of that Death card. Absolutely beautiful energy. And then, like, again, with this Princess of Cups, like we said, she's kind of here to give that heart space, you know. It's like, give you that excitement to see what happens next, to know that indeed you have this world that's here of adventure and possibility and flourishing and thriving energies. And this is allowing those dreams and those serendipities and that magic and synchronicity and open and joyful heart to come through. And that sensitivity that you need for those romantic relationships as well, to allow those to heal. And, you know, Chiron's saying, like, don't close yourself off to those, you know. Bring this beautiful, like, childlike enthusiasm in here, because you're healing your inner child wounds. That's what Chiron is saying too. It's like, allow that inner child to, you know, maybe you're going through this unknown, you're going through these unexpected twists on the journey. You have this Two of Wands. It's dark when you're going through that transformation, but, like, be open to inspiration from that childlike wonder and awe and the strange places, and pay attention to those beautiful intuitive musings that are coming through. Like, make sure you're staying grounded and you're allowing those to come through as well, because, like, those are going to inspire you in so many different ways and give you those beautiful creative wings, along with your beautiful death butterfly wings of transformation too, you know. And settle into this time of strangely unique thinking, because this is where Uranus is coming in. Like, expect those unexpected things to come through, and make sure you're not being overly sensitive or blocking your flow. That's, Chiron is saying, like, you know, heal that inner child, like, heal those heart wounds, and don't block your own flow. Don't try to control this process so much. Like, with that Devil card, it's like give up that need to control the outcome so much, you know. Allow your emotions to just flow through and follow those little sparks of joy. Play a little bit more, be silly, dance, be curious, you know. Allow that sensitive dreamer in you to dream, and, you know, don't let those clouds block the signs and synchronicities that are trying to come through for you, you know. Because as you heal those wounds, it's like, you get this beautiful Ace of Swords that comes through and illuminates the ways that you need to go, and illuminates those signs and symbols that are there for you to get that beautiful wisdom and knowledge, you know, and step into your potential. Like, don't get stuck at those crossroads. Call upon your guides, call upon your own intuition, call upon your childhood dreams, and follow those, you know. Follow those. Walk away from the past. Release those ancestral traumas, and you know, come into this awakening energy. Allow this Kundalini energy to rise in you, and to create new passions and new inspirations and new intuitions. Absolutely gorgeous, you know. And it's like, I can't help but notice the Star card was underneath, and we got two Ace of Swords. So it's like, yes, this beautiful clarity wants to come through for you. It's like ready to burst through once you get past those clouds, once you come out of this dark, once you come out of this pain. And the Star card is saying, like, there's so much healing, and there's so much hope and optimism and joy. And this is that beautiful opposite energy of Venus here that was here the other day. And it's like, it's time to shine your star out of those darker places that you've healed. And with Leo season, it's like, shine that light, follow that joy and that hope and that optimism that Leo season and this beautiful Star card energy is calling forth for you, you know. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you know, she's gone through a lot, this beautiful star, and it's like now you can almost with these the prince and the princess of cups and her, it's like saying expect the miracles, you know, expect the beautiful miracles now. Step into this path of fulfillment. Allow this beautiful light to guide you. And it's shining through any of that residual darkness of that death card, you know. Allow that inner essence to come through and let go of those limiting beliefs and self-doubts that you've been healing with Chiron. Focus on the future, and the stars are aligning in your favor. It's time to trust them. It's time to follow those beautiful inspirations and love and get that renewal and rebirth energy of hope inside of you. You know, it's absolutely beautiful, and share that with others too, because, you know, Chiron's the galactic shaman, and he is able to guide others through their own death and their own dark energies and their own devil card energies. And Anubis did that as well. And he's only able to do this because he's done this for himself. So this energy is saying, like, be that shaman for yourself. But also with the star card, it's like, perhaps, again, we said this before, this is part of your destiny, part of your purpose, to help others to heal as well, to give them that beautiful yarrow, to give them that medicine that you know that is so deeply healing for them, because you have felt it to the core of your soul and transmuted and healed it as well. Absolutely gorgeous. So I will end it here because it's really hot out today, and I definitely need to get into the AC and hydrate for a few minutes. But absolutely beautiful energy, and I really hope this helped illuminate, you know, the importance of this Chiron retrograde. So take it slow, my friends, ground yourself, and just allow this to flow through you. You know, it's a beautiful, nurturing, supportive guide, and this beautiful owl is leading us towards this wisdom through this healing. Absolutely lovely. Blessed be.